Okay, so the first thing about this challenge is you actually need to make sure that you have all the buffs you can possibly get. So there we go. Yeah, so you want flask, food, runes, everything, because this is a DPS race. I discovered that most of the guides actually didn't really align with how I wanted to do things. After a fair few goes, so I changed my tactic a fair few bits. So as you'll see, I've got the flask, I've got the food. Food is just the haste one, I haven't gone for the crazy one, and a rune buff. I also do have the potions of prolonged power, which add a fair bit of DPS. You want to pre-pot that, which means use that before you start the fight. That way it will actually cool down during the fight start. Pause this for a second. Yeah, so once she activates, you activate a potion of prolonged power, which gives you a minute of that, and then all of the stats from that for that certain amount of time. But because you've started it before you've started combat, the potion cooldown will actually already be in effect, and you'll be able to then use another potion in the middle of the fight. Whereas if you do it after you pull, you'll only get one pot during the fight. That's what pre-potting is, in case you didn't know. But okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get all my flasks and food and ready, all that stuff ready. I'm going to pre-pot when she's started doing all of her talking, blah blah. I'm then going to charge in, and I'm actually going to hit drums straight away. Now, most of the guides were actually saying to use drums after she teleports the first time, and I changed from that because I wasn't getting very much active time out of it, because obviously you want to try and stack your cooldowns as much as you can, and doing so with drums is the hard thing to do in this challenge, because this challenge is all about managing the ads. So what you should have noticed with this fight is the ads are actually timed based on your cooldown. So as we go through the fight, I might go through this twice so you can see exactly what I've done. But as you go through the fight, she spawns three notable types of ads. She spawns the ones that heal her, which I have changed my strategy to just kill not as soon as they come up, but when I can easily. She spawns this stupid little imp, I forget what it's called, I'll talk about it when it comes up, but it runs to you when you're stationary. It then drops a puddle of crap on the ground. You want to place them in a certain position away from where you're standing, and then she does that minions help me, or whatever the hell it's called. That's when you're using Battle Cry, Odin's Fury, and a Rampage that's attached to a Whirlwind, so you're AoEing everything, because during that spawn is this thing called an Umbral Imp, and Umbral Imps put a bubble on her that makes her so she can't actually attack, can't actually take any damage at all. Now if you've got Battle Cry and Odin's Fury up, whenever they spawn, they're a non-issue at all. You just blow it and do it, and they're over. That's how it happens, and you'll see that. Anyway, so I'll start this back up, and you can see how it goes. So I'm getting ready with the drums. I've pre-potted, hit the drums. She does spawn a couple of ads at the start, and I'm just going absolute ham with the rotation. Don't really need to talk about that because my rotation's pretty shit. I'm not a very good Fury Warrior. Yeah, Agatha's Vengeance, those are the ones that heal her. I'm only going to do that when they're a non-issue. The Fuming Imp, that's the one that drops the crap on the ground. You wait till it starts to cast and then get away from where it's going. And see, then I'm killing the imp servants now, and that stops her from healing. So I'll go back onto her and do as much damage as I possibly can. Now, Battle Cry just came back off cooldown, which means she's about to go into Dark Fury. So Dark Fury, you need to break her shield and interrupt her as fast as you can. So there's a fuming imps form. I put it over to the back, and then I've interrupted her Dark Fury. No, I didn't interrupt it. I'm terrible. I finally interrupted it. But I'll pause it for a second so you can catch up, and I'll go back a little bit. So, where are we? A lot happened there. So, the bubble comes up. You need to get through the bubble and interrupt her Dark Fury. Now, if you interrupt too quickly, it does have a tendency to bug out and not work. But you can't actually interrupt while there are Umbral Imps up. So as you've seen there, you should be able to see I've blown all my cooldowns because I've got a macro that does Avatar and Berserker Rage, whatever the hell it's called now. And I'll do a Whirlwind, I'll do a Rampage because I get 100 Rage, and then I'll do Odin's Fury, which will take care of all of the ads, and then I'll be able to go back onto her. Now, once the Umbral Imps are all dead, I'll go back and kill the Imp Servants, because this is the strategy I changed to, is just killing those Imps as much as I could, and that way she doesn't heal that much. Normally the strategy just tells you to just deal with them when it's optimal, but I decided to go against that, and it made it a lot faster. See, there's another fuming imp spawn, so I've put it out of the way and then let it drop its crap pool, Dark Fury, so I'll get through that and I'll interrupt her. And this is where she starts teleporting. So when she's teleporting, she does this actually both on a timer base and on a damage base. So if you do a lot of damage when she first teleports, she'll teleport really quickly again, but you've still got to do the whole fight as well as avoid all of the boulders. So there's additional little green pools of crap on the ground you've got to watch out for. Use Bloodthirst with the charge as much as you need to. That's the thing that I can't stress enough. If you need to heal bad, just charge an imp and Bloodthirst. Run away from her and charge it. This isn't actually a DPS race. This is more about making sure you're doing more than she's healing for and staying alive. And obviously at this point you need to keep an eye on where the boulders are. So I've had to get through the bubble there and interrupt Dark Fury. I've gone back onto the Imp Servants to kill them and stop her healing. All the Umbral Imps spawn. Odin's Fury, a couple of Whirlwinds, take care of them. That's all over. Getting out of the way of the boulders, back onto Agatha. Trying to position a crap Pubbertal Imp so it's not an issue. She's about to teleport again, I think. But this is all I'm doing, is I'm killing the imps when there's nothing else I need to worry about. I'm trying to stay full on health, and then I'm trying to avoid the big things that I just got hit by. Now, if you get hit by a boulder, it is not the end of the world unless you're low health. Hit and rage regeneration immediately, and it can survive. You can survive it. So this just continue off the same thing. Try to stay out of the green crap on the ground. Once you get to execute phase, it does go quite quickly. You don't need to worry too much about the imp servants that heal her. But make sure your health stays up, because that's what I obviously ran into at that one time where I wiped at like 130,000 health. Stay out of the way of the boulders. Execute. Their health will drop like a stone, and it's over. So the important things are, as I mentioned, you need to try and drop the fuming imps. You see I got hit by a boulder right at the end. It was so bad, I was worried I was going to wipe again. You need to drop the fuming imps out of the way. That's really important, because the damage that the stuff on the ground does is actually quite bad. And you don't want to be standing in that. You want to be saving your cooldowns. That's Odin's Fury and Berserker Rage. Battlecry, sorry, for when the Umbral Imp spawn. She does a big call out. I forget what it's called. I'll go back and have a look at a second. It's just when all of the imps spawn, they will actually teleport around, so the faster you do it, the better off it's going to be, because they'll be really grouped right at the start. That's the talent setup I've gone for. I probably should I'll put that at the start too, because the talents are fairly important, and I'll mention that as well, a little bit as well. Yeah, so the important thing is just add placement, add controlling, and maintaining your health. You maintain your health from charging different things. I've still got the 25% extra rage from charging amulets, so I get a lot of rage from charging stuff. So I've charged as much as I possibly can, which is why I've always got a lot of health. You obviously do need the 300% Bloodthirst talent. I'll put a screenshot right at the start with the talents over something. But yeah, the important thing is your cooldown usage. You can't be blowing your cooldowns every time they're up. You need to be using them when it's the right time, and you need to be optimizing your damage and dropping the fuming imps in the right place, basically. Other than that, it's kind of just a game of wait until it all clicks, I suppose. This was my third attempt after I started killing the healing imps as soon as they spawned. Previously, I was just killing them when all the other imps would spawn. Like, I was getting up to 4 at a time, but that meant she was transitioning a lot slower. So like once the Umbral Imp spawned, like now, I'd then go and kill all of the imp servants, and then they'd have healed her a stupid amount, and I'd end up be doing over 1 billion damage at the end of the 7 minutes. It's probably what a lot of people don't realize. But as I said, a lot of guides have actually mentioned that that's the way that you should do it. I don't think that's what they should do. You should be killing the imps as soon as they spawn. It makes it a lot easier and a lot faster to handle. Just managing everything is how these challenges are done. Understanding the mechanics and realizing how they all overlap, and situational awareness without needing to watch everything. I mean, it probably took me a good 4 wipes to stop watching my spell bar, because I don't really know how to play Fury very well. even though I have a weak aura set up that shows me all my cooldowns. But as you can see, when Odin's Fury and Battlecry are up, the ads just melt, and if they don't melt through that, they're going to melt through a whirlwind or two after that. Sometimes you can get really bad luck and she'll teleport straight after she spawns the ads. I have had that happen once and it was really horrible, because the Umbral Imps still need to die, and if you've wasted everything, it's just useless. But yeah, just keep trying at it. It isn't easy. I mean, this took me, I think, 14 or 15 goes, and like this is now my 9th Mage tower, so I'm a veteran of these things. It's not the hardest one, but it's close. I don't know if that's because I haven't got perfect legendaries or I'm just a very bad Fury warrior. I did this with Cephus and the Netherlight Crucible ring, because I actually don't have any Fury legendaries. So yeah, you might have better luck with those, and you might be able to get it down a lot faster. But yeah, it's about persistence and not giving up. Like, you might not get very far in the start, or you might stuff up to something really trivial, get up, walk away, and give it another go later. It's not a huge thing. It doesn't matter, and there are plenty of people who can't do this at all. So just practice. That's really all I can say. I was going to use a different video to show the strategy I was using, which was actually making it look a hell of a lot cleaner than this, but I couldn't kill her using that strategy. Like, all of my fuming imps were dropping puddles in the exact same spot, and I was almost always at full health, but I didn't kill her at all. I didn't really even get close to it. So, but yeah, good luck. I know you can do it eventually. It's just practice and persistence. That's all they are, really. Once you overgeared it, which is about 930 level, it's just persistence and learning little bits and pieces, looking back on what you've done wrong, realizing what you've done wrong and how you can fix it in each time. That's it, basically. If you got any questions, let me know. Ba-dum-bumps.